Thomas Müller is one of the most versatile and underrated footballers of this generation. Born on September 13th, 1989 in Weilheim, Germany, Müller started playing football at a young age and was quickly scouted by the local team TSV Pähl. He joined Bayern Munich's youth academy in 2000 and made his professional debut for the club in the 2008-2009 season. He is a player who always delivered goals and assists, becoming one of the greatest playmakers in the game, yet always failed to get the recognition he deserves.
How's it going, everyone? It's Pseudo here. In today's video, I'd like for us to take a little trip down career lane and have a closer look into Thomas Müller. His goals, stats, achievements, assists. He is actually one of the most underrated football players of our generation. And with this video, I'd like to prove that. I mean, let's face it, he's the Raumdeuter, or as you could call it in English, space interpreter. So Thomas knows what he's doing. Or at least, it seems that way. Anyways, while looking for Müller's numbers and comparing them to others, like Messi or Kevin De Bruyne, I got completely blown away. So here's a video talking about his greatness and genius on the pitch. So maybe you guys can see as well how good the Raumdeuter actually is.
Maybe it's because of the greats he's played around. Maybe it's because he's missing all of the flashy and cool traits which make watching football so entertaining. Traits which can be immediately spotted in a game, like blistering pace, amazing skills or insane dribbling abilities. Unfortunately for Müller though, he never really fit into any of said categories. Not being particularly fast, not being a Brazilian dribbler with great skills or anything similar, Müller always seemed like the guy who was lucky enough to be at the right place at the right time. That's exactly what his critics kept saying all these years, but eventually one might stop and wonder, can it all really be pure luck, or should we stop and rethink the space interpreter's ability of being at the right space in the right time, all the time? Shouldn't we all stop for a moment and rethink Müller's positioning as well as his efficiency and importance on the pitch for Bayern and the German national team, which he has been showing for all these years?
Müller's versatility has always been one of his biggest strengths as a footballer, because throughout his career he was able to play as a striker, second striker, center attacking forward, or even sometimes as a winger, where he would start out wide and then cut inside to help his teammates. And it's exactly that versatility that has allowed him to adapt to different tactical systems and formations, which made him a key player for Bayern Munich and the German national team throughout his whole career.
In 653 appearances, he has scored 232 goals and provided 255 assists for Bayern Munich across all competitions. He is also one of the highest scoring German players in the UEFA Champions League with 53 goals and 33 assists to his name. On the international stage, Müller has scored 44 goals and provided 40 assists for the German national team in 121 appearances. Müller made his debut for Bayern Munich's professional team in the 2008-2009 season, but it was the following season where he really began to show his importance for the club. Under Louis van Gaal, Müller became a regular starter and key player, playing 51 games and scoring 19 while assisting 16 goals in that year, either playing as a second striker or starting out wide before cutting inside to link up with teammates. His performances in that season earned him a spot in the German national team during the World Cup in South Africa in 2010, and it's safe to say that he took that chance to perform and welcomed it with arms wide open. The at the time 21-year-old Thomas Müller played an outstanding tournament under head coach Jogi Löw, scoring 5 goals and assisting another 3, which led to him winning the competition's top scorer trophy in that year, while finishing in 3rd place in the tournament after falling short to the eventual world champions, Spain. Thomas also won the Young Player of the Tournament award, announcing himself as a player to watch in the football world. At that time, Müller was known for his finishing abilities rather than the assisting skills he has been showing in the last decade. What's important to mention here is Müller's clutch positioning and his ability to perfectly read certain moments of the game, which is always allowing him to make the best possible run and thereby help his team in the build-up and chance creation.
Like I've mentioned before, Müller never really was known to be a flashy dribbler, skiller, or particularly fast on the ball. His brilliance on the pitch was rather found in his ability to be at the right place at the right time, and that all the time, because this man's read of the game has always been incredible, not only making runs for himself, but also for his teammates, because the more you look into Müller and the way the Raumdeuter chooses to move on the pitch, you'll notice that he is making those runs for his team. He is making those runs and he puts in the effort to help his team, because with his almost perfect read of the game, the Raumdeuter always understands what the next best step could be for his team in order to score a goal.
After his breakthrough season, Müller established himself as a regular starter for Bayern Munich and became one of the key players in their team. He helped the team win numerous titles, including 11 Bundesliga titles, 6 DFB Pokal trophies and 8 German Super Cup trophies, the UEFA Champions League in 2013 and 2020, and the FIFA Club World Cup in 2014 and 2021 with Bayern. Müller was also a key player for Germany during their 2014 World Cup win, scoring 5 goals and providing 3 assists in that tournament.
Saying how clunky his movement looks, with his goals and assists often only coming from lucky positioning, is very unfair, especially when considering the impact the Raumdeuter has had for his teams in the last decade. Thomas Müller has shown incredible levels of game knowledge and game understanding, making ideal runs, great passes, and not because of luck. Thomas Müller is a genius of the game, yet he keeps getting disrespected.
What's funny to mention is that Müller first referred to himself as a Raumdeuter, thereby giving himself his famous nickname of Space Interpreter in an interview in 2011. Essentially, the way Müller understands and reads the game enables him to be at the right place at the right time in order to score his goals and get his assists. But since he never truly was a striker nor traditional center attacking midfielder, Müller invented a new role on the pitch, being a mixture of both. With the signing of Robert Lewandowski in 2014, Müller naturally dropped back from the striker position and further developed his Raumdeuter role as a second striker and attacking midfielder for Bayern. With his understanding of space and the runs of his teammates, combined with his own runs in behind, Müller would draw defenders, create space in behind, and thereby help opening up opposition teams so that either Müller himself or one of his teammates could get the ball in a dangerous area and score a goal. When talking about Müller, Jogi Löw once said, "Thomas is a very unorthodox player and you can't really predict his lines of running, but he always has one aim, and that is, how can I score a goal?" Over the years, Müller became one of the most unique attackers in the world of football. His genius on the pitch is not as apparent as it is for other top players, since there aren't any physical or technical skill attached to it. His genius is how he understands and reads the game and interprets attacking moves, enabling himself and his teammates to get the most out of their attacks. While Thomas keeps adding goals to his name, he is nowadays casually keeping up with the best of the best, the world's most amazing playmakers in the game. But all doesn't come that easy to the German Raumdeuter. He himself once pointed out a flaw in his game, saying that he doesn't feel comfortable when being pushed to run a play from beginning to end, while also not getting the space and support he needs in order to thrive from his teammates.
Müller really needs his freedom in order to thrive and get the most out of his abilities on the pitch. And during a difficult phase while playing for coach Niko Kovac, Müller found himself in a very difficult spot. Müller started struggling quite a bit, with the team not really connecting to the coach's strategies and game plan, which hurt the Raumdeuter's game a lot.
I cannot make the most out of my strengths when the team is not at its best and does not play the sort of football it can play. I did not feel well on the pitch in our last 2 games. I am very much reliant on my teammates when you look at my style of play and the goals I have scored in the past. I am not the type of player who can create his own chances, someone who picks up the ball in midfield and then dribbles past 5 players. As you can see, he is completely aware of his strengths and weaknesses and of how he functions for Bayern and their system, which is enabling him to become one of the best playmakers and chance creators of this century. One important thing to point out would definitely be his increasing assist numbers over the last years, which further opens up the question. Did Müller's assist numbers went up because of Lewandowski scoring so many goals, or did Lewandowski's goal numbers went up because of Müller's amazing passes and deliveries to, at the time, Bayern's number 9? I guess it would be unfair to take anything away from either one of them, because while one was breaking goal-scoring records like the Gerd Müller record, the other one was keeping up with breaking assist numbers with the likes of Lionel Messi and Kevin De Bruyne. When looking at the 2010 season onwards, Thomas Müller is behind only Messi when it comes to the total amount of assists he has produced. Messi, Müller and Kevin De Bruyne are the only players since Thierry Henry in the 2002-2003 season that have achieved getting 20 plus assists in a season in their league alone. But only Müller was able to make a streak out of this insane accomplishment, hitting 21 assists in the last 3 consecutive Bundesliga seasons for Bayern. And when looking at the total assists across all competitions, you can see that Müller is sitting on first place with 75 assists, with KDB being second with 55 assists and Messi being third with a total of 52 assists. Despite his success and contributions to the game, Müller still receives criticism for his lack of pace and flashy style of play. However, his intelligence, vision and work rate make him one of the most valuable players in the sport. He has proven time and time again that he is more than just a simple goal scorer, and that he is a complete footballer who can impact the game in many ways. Thomas Müller is one of the most versatile and underestimated footballers of this generation. His intelligence, vision and work rate make him a valuable asset to any team, and his impact on the game cannot be overstated. He is a definition of a brilliant mind on the pitch and appears to be quite a kind sportsman to be around with as well. So is it really fair for his critics to downplay Müller's goals, assists and achievements in the last 10 years? In my personal opinion, it's not, because this man has constantly been showing up. This man has constantly been delivering for his teams, and this man is a true leader. He's a player that I want in my team. Especially when taking a closer look into his incredible numbers which he puts out while looking at his goal contributions in the last 10 years, combined with his movement and presence on the pitch. In my opinion, Müller definitely is one of the smartest and most impactful players of this generation, or at least center attacking midfielders, strikers, second strikers. This man can do it all, and I really hope that I'll be able to see a couple more years of the Raumdeuter's genius on the pitch. If you're able to interpret this video, as well as Thomas interprets space, then you should leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It would mean a lot to me, and I promise you that more awesome content is coming soon. See you in the next video.